Welcome. I am so glad you're here with me today as we explore a concept that is both deeply challenging and profoundly transformative, the idea that self-awareness can actually lead to fewer friends. At first, this may sound confusing, even counterintuitive. After all, self-awareness is often celebrated as the key to building strong, healthy relationships. If we understand ourselves better, surely we can connect with others more deeply, right? But there is an unexpected truth here, one that many of us don't realize until we begin the journey of deep self-reflection. Self-awareness often creates distance between us and the people we once considered our closest friends. This isn't something to fear or regret. It's simply part of the process of becoming who we were always meant to be. Let's pause for a moment. You've probably heard the phrase, the more you know yourself, the more you can connect with others. It's a wonderful sentiment, and in many ways, it's true. But there's a deeper, more intricate side to self-awareness that is often overlooked. When you become truly aware of who you are, you begin to shed parts of your identity that were never really yours. You start to let go of the masks you've worn to fit in, to please others, and to avoid conflict. And as you do this, you might find that the people around you are no longer able to recognize you. They might even feel threatened or confused by the changes they see in you. And in some cases, this can lead to a distancing between you and those you once called friends. Let's go deeper into this. When we talk about self-awareness, we're not just talking about knowing what you like, what you dislike, or even what your strengths and weaknesses are. We're talking about a level of awareness that touches the very core of who you are, a deep understanding of your values, your beliefs, your needs, and your limitations. It's about acknowledging the parts of yourself that you may have ignored for years, the parts that you may have suppressed in order to meet the expectations of others. This is where the paradox begins. As you become more aware of your true self, you start to realize that many of your past relationships were built on illusions. They were built on versions of yourself that you created to please others or to fit in. Maybe you found yourself in friendships that were based on shared trauma, shared insecurities, or shared convenience, but not necessarily on shared understanding or shared growth. And when you begin to let go of these false versions of yourself, you begin to see that many of the relationships you've had were not truly authentic, at least, not in the way you now understand authenticity. But here's the thing, this realization doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow unfolding. At first, you may not even realize why certain friendships feel different. You may chalk it up to small disagreements, growing apart, or changing interests. But over time, as your awareness grows and deepens, you begin to recognize the underlying truth. The connections you thought were solid were, in reality, fragile. They were built on compromises, on you shrinking yourself to fit into a mold that was never yours. It's a painful process, let me tell you. You might find yourself questioning everything. You might even feel guilty. Did I do something wrong? Did I push people away? Am I becoming too much of an individual? Why am I so alone? These thoughts can swirl in your head, but here's the truth, you are not doing anything wrong. You are simply growing. You are shedding the old skin of your past self and stepping into a more authentic version of who you truly are. And in that shedding, something beautiful and painful happens. The people who were comfortable with the version of you that you used to be may start to drift away. They may not understand the changes. They may feel uncomfortable with the boundaries you're now setting, with the person you're becoming. And for some, this will be a turning point. Some friendships will fade. Some people will fall away from your life. But this is not a tragedy. It's a necessary part of your evolution. You are becoming who you were always meant to be, and in that process, you are making room for relationships that align more deeply with your authentic self. As this process unfolds, the question arises, who will be left when the dust settles? Who will remain by your side as you transform? This is where the paradox of self-awareness becomes more poignant. As your circle grows smaller, it may feel like a loss. It may feel like you are standing alone. But the truth is, you are never truly alone. The solitude you experience is not a punishment, it is a sign of growth. It is in this space that you find your true self, and it is in this space that you make room for deeper, more meaningful connections. Let's take a moment to reflect on the beauty of solitude. So often, we equate solitude with loneliness, but they are not the same. Loneliness is the absence of meaningful connection, while solitude is the presence of yourself. Solitude is a space where you can truly hear your own thoughts, where you can explore your emotions without the noise of others' expectations. It is in this space that you begin to understand the depth of your own being. Now, let's talk about the friends who will remain. These are the people who, no matter how much you change, will stand by you. They are the ones who celebrate your growth, who support you through your evolution. They are the ones who see the changes in you and, rather than feeling threatened or uncomfortable, are inspired by them. These are the friendships that are built on mutual respect, deep understanding, and true connection. And although these relationships may be fewer, they will be richer and more fulfilling than any number of shallow friendships. You see, self-awareness doesn't mean you lose all your friends. It simply means you lose the ones who were not aligned with the person you are becoming. It means that you are becoming more selective about the energy you allow into your life. You are no longer willing to settle for superficial connections or friendships that drain you. Instead, you are creating space for relationships that nurture your soul, that help you grow, and that inspire you to be your best self. This is the part of the journey where we must confront a deeper truth, the fear of being alone. The fear that arises when your social circle shrinks, when the invitations stop coming, when the phone doesn't ring as often. But here's the thing about fear, it's a sign that you're on the right path. Fear arises when we step into new territory, when we begin to move outside our comfort zones. Fear is the shadow that follows growth. And as you continue on your path, you will learn to embrace that fear as a sign of progress, as a sign that you are moving towards something greater. The loneliness you feel is not an indication that something is wrong with you. It's a sign that you are letting go of the past and making space for the future. You are making room for the relationships that will truly serve you, the relationships that will help you continue your growth, your self-awareness, and your journey toward authenticity. As you continue to grow and evolve, the people who resonate with your energy, who align with your values and beliefs, will find their way to you. And when they do, they will be the ones who will not just walk with you for a while, but will walk beside you for life. These are the friends who will challenge you, inspire you, and love you for the person you are, not the person you once were. So, if you are experiencing this process right now, if you are finding your circle shrinking, if you are feeling the discomfort of losing friendships, remember this, it is not a loss. It is a transformation. You are shedding old versions of yourself, and as a result, you are making space for deeper, more meaningful connections. Trust the process. Trust yourself. And know that the right people will come. They will be the ones who will love you not for what you can give them, but for who you truly are. In the end, the journey of self-awareness leads not to loneliness, but to a deeper connection with yourself and with those who are meant to walk this path with you. You are not losing friends, you are gaining a more profound understanding of who you are, and in that understanding, you will find the true friendships that will last a lifetime.